NAMM Show 2016. So here it is. Here's the dome. We are outside the building. And welcome to Syntegrator channel rolling coverage of the best synths of 2016. So here we are walking in. Yeah, I'm not demoing this year. I'm not presenting. Instead, I am just attending. And in the process, I've had a chance to get around and see a lot of stuff, do a lot of things, make a lot of business actually. So the good news is there's so many new synths going on. So we're going to explore a few of those. All right? Okay, we'll see you when we're closer inside. Well, to put it all in perspective, it's Sunday morning. Here's the outside of the convention center. And I'm going to go to NAMM first. NAMM being Yamaha's own NAMM show. Over here at Chez Marriott. So I'm going to go over there first, because there is an incredibly cool workstation called the Montage up for grabs. It's kind of like a super motif with an FS1R thrown in for good measure. So this is the Montage synth and the Montage, it's super synth really. Montage, of course, is an ultra motif. It's got double polyphony. It has 10 times the sample ROM. Really powerful presets. And that's just one side of it. The other side of it is basically a 8 operator FM.
Sort of, but not.
It can be 99 different algorithms, I believe it is. I should remember because I actually worked a little bit on this.
He's mainly just selecting sounds.
It's essentially a descendant of the FS1R. So you've got that. At the same time as the super motif with double polyphony, by the way, 120 stereo polyphony. And then that glowing blue knob there, right in the middle. You see that? That is basically what they call the super knob. They basically have an entire way of synchronizing parameters, and you can assign them to basically perform real-time morphs between various sounds, or to actually have things fading in and fading out.
Did you get a brochure?
Tremendously sophisticated, actually. It sounds incredible too. And I'll leave that to other videos on YouTube. Let's take a look here at the UI. That is a nice touchscreen interface. It's got a lot of depth and a lot of flexibility. And I should know, I design interfaces for a living. That's a good interface. And touchscreen ability is fantastic. Styling is really cool. You see it's got some nice bevels on it. It's chunky and heavy. The key version is certainly very imposing. But this over here, the 6 motif, what would be in place of a motif ES6. It's a nice machine. So this was stop number 1 on the Syntegrator tour. We'll see what comes up next. Next up we have the Reface. These are cool little model versions of some of the other stuff, as you've seen before. Of course, this one's a CP, so it's a piano. And Yamaha has brought out what they're calling the guitar strap. It's a guitar attachment that goes along. I would have much appreciated a nice neck with a controller attachment myself, but I guess they're keeping it cheap. And there's the organ one. Yeah. Well, up here on the top of floor number 3, way at the top, Convention Center, is the Roland booth, room, what have you. And yeah, we'll head on in here and have a look at some of the cool stuff Roland's got going on. Now let's put it in perspective. Here's the JDXA. As everybody knows, 4-voice analog. Also got four voices, actually not voices, but 4 parts supernatural. So actually pretty monstrously beefy digital synth coupled with nice 4-voice analog. Very cool. Lots of cool effects in there. Little brother JDXI, mono synth, able to do 2 digital parts, drums, and a single mono analog synth part. And it's of course got a vocoder, and they don't really talk about it that much, but there is a vocoder on the XA as well. It's just you got to plug in your own microphone. And then here's the boutique guys, JU06, JX03, and the JP08. And we'll be covering actually all 3 of these later on in the year. I've got one of each, and I'm actually doing some development right now to integrate these guys. This guy here will integrate into the Kiwi 106 experience, and this one will integrate into the Kiwi 3P experience. If you can consider the programming capabilities of one of these guys coupled with the Kiwi 3P, I think you get the idea that it could actually be pretty slick. Same thing with this on the Juno 106. You can imagine being able to control the second page of the Kiwi 106 filters and envelopes and LFOs from this, while using the main sliders on the 106 to control page number 1. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it's on the way, believe it or not. All right, so this is basically what's been going on. Roland does have this other module that struck my interest. See if I can find it over here. Ah, here we are. The A01. An A01 is basically a control surface as far as I understand it. Basically you've got CC knobs here, they're nice knobs, and then you can choose different things. It's kind of like a multi-program, I believe. They're certainly using it to great effect with these soft synths that we got running. I don't even mention the system one because don't know much about it. It's a little bit outside of my area. That's alright. I'm sure there's lots of videos about that. Okay, moving on to some other great synths. Well, just as we have the Prophet 6 from last year, an incredible resurgence. Something old and something new body. Also the OB6. That is so cool. Obviously from the looks of the thing.
Prophet 6, so uniquely Oberheim. Right. Yeah, very cool.
I was talking to Andrew the other day. That came out of nowhere. That
Awesome.
Obviously NAMM.
Alright, so let's take a look here at the Prophet 6. As you can see, the Prophet 6, everyone's seen it already from last year. But right next to it is the OB6. And I'm happy to say the pinstripes is back. The pinstripes is back. And an interesting note, this is direct screen paint on metal for both of these. So they aren't using overlays at all. They're powder coated, and then they actually have the paint directly on screen printed onto the metal, which is really, really cool. So taking a look here at what we've got in the front panel. So there's X-Mod, yeah, there's the cross-mod section, the Aptos section, the LFO sync, the two VCOs, very nice, VCOs, beautiful. And then oscillators, VCO 1 and 2. So again, this, as you can tell, take a look at them both. They are so close. The vendor block sections are identical. It's the same part. The end cheeks on the Prophet are lighter and wider. These ones here are thinner and darker and also beveled. And what we have is basically 6 Oberheim voices inside a Dave Smith infrastructure, which is awesome because Dave Smith's infrastructure is tried and true, as we know from all of the synths he's made over the years. So here's the effects section. As you can see, it's not the same layout, which is very nice. You know, it's good to see. We've got the same patch selection system as made big on the originals. The right, the globals and manual. This is right globals and preset. Pretty much a comparable function. Patch selector here. So this bottom strip, as you can see, is the same on both. Alright? Just like that. Whereas here, there's the filter envelope and an amp envelope. So we have the two of them. Right? Here's the filter envelope and the loudness envelope. So there's a little bit of difference involved. In fact, the case of stay and release, and then the amount is next to it. And this is just following the methodologies of the respected synths. You know, at Oberheim, this was how it was done, and over here, this is how the Prophet did it. So, very impressed. It looks to me like the effects are identical, except, of course, they're over here on the Prophet, and they're up here on the OB. So, hey, check this out. That's the most Legends, one instrument. Very impressive. Good guys. Awesome. Great job, guys. Fantastic. Whoa, dude, what's this? I gotta ask, what have Moog been smoking? It's the Moog Island. land of electronicus. I keep waiting for HR Puffin stuff to come out. Richie Poo from Air. I gotta say though, this mother is pretty awesome. It's not really my forte, you know, I'm an analog poly guy, but at $699 bucks, that is a smoking deal. Yeah, have to go try one of those out. Well, of course, we couldn't not mention this guy. Korg Nilo. Actually feels, well, not super strong, but robust, but it's good. Good, and that display is really cool. Not seeing anything right now.
Yeah, no, that mini log is
Maybe because of the patch. Poly.
yeah.
Let's see here.
Actually,
Filter up.
if you would want to get into poly-synthesis, or check.
Kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Not bad.
yeah, when Joey brought it over.
4 voice polyphonic. It's fairly impressive. Yeah. Very cool.